this beat. Okay, y'all ready? Let's get it together. This is our time. Yes! All right now. Yes! The love and lips show, the true, the real, the tell you how you feel. All right. The love and lips show, the true, the real, the tell you how you feel. Come to me for advice about your family and friends, to your husband and your wife. I can tell you about mine and what's been applied. So stay tuned and buckle in for the ride. My past experience are for your ears to hear. I'll tell you tales from my past year. May do a review on some beauty products. You can catch me on the stream when the grease is popping. The lip show, the true, the real, to tell you how you feel. Okay. The love and lip show, the true, the real, to tell you how you feel. When the road is bumpy and everything is shook, you gotta live and love and show it on the daily. You do your thing and I'll do mine. No judgment here, there's only love on my mind. It's not always right, some things are not easy. We can toss and turn until we make it easy. Keep a smile on your face and encourage one another. We only live one life, so we gotta love each other. Love and live show, the true, the real, to tell you how you feel. Oh yeah, the love and live show, the true, the real, to tell you how you feel. The lesson we learn won't stop or block us. We're all in the past, so let's get to walking. Live and love each day as your last. It's funny how time can flash. This is your life, so you better live it. If you really want something, work hard to get it. Join me on my journey and watch the show. We'll do it one more time, but by now you should know. Love and show, the true, the real, to tell you how you feel. Yeah, the love and show, the true, the real, to tell you how you feel. Okay. Love and show, the true, the real, to tell you how you feel. That's right, girl. The love and show, the true, the real, to tell you how you feel. We out.
Yo, L&L. L&L. Woo, woo, woo. L&L show. It's hot, taste it hot. I'm ready. L&L. Let's go. L&L show. Motivation speakers. Positive affirmations, tune in every week. We need a Monday family meeting. Eli always cheating. Relationship advice on Wednesday so you don't go creeping. Thursday game time, come in and unwind. Friday night shout out time, creators grind and shine. Pop up at the pop up, shop up at the shop up. Get your bomb.com seasons for your potluck. Tropical morning for your royalty. Love and live empire, bringing all the heat. You wanna taste that heat? Try to taste the heat. Hot sauce. That sweet heat is banging like this beat. Chocolate burning, love, mild watermelon. Dynamite's the truth. Have you woo? Bigger nephew. Lenora. She know it's the truth. Chris. Everybody love Chris. Love it yourself.
It's the love and live show. It's the love and live show.
Love and live.
It's the love and live
We be laughing, having fun.
Get up, peace, stay. Love and live. Get up, peace, stay. Love and live.
Love and live each day as if it was your last.
The love and live show.
Smooches.
The love and live show.
This is Love and Live Shots.
Run me my money, don't play with my cash. Big crew, step up, we popping off fast. Hustlers stay grinding, we built to outlast. If you ain't talking dollars, then we finna dash. my money, don't play with my cash. Big step up, we popping out fast. Hustle, stay grinding, we built to outlast. If you ain't talking dollars, then we finna dash. Hey, push hours got network strong. Dropping hot topics, just putting us on. Oreo mouse paint story so wild. The house tripping colors got that magic child. Trap Vision 3D timepiece flex. Talking Invicta got Chris on deck. GJ3 fools spread love that stacks. Words so smooth, put the soul in the tracks. Hustle real hard, never taking a break. You got that vibe, let me see you shake. Cruise so deep, yeah, we changing the stakes. Money in the air, let's go get that cake. Run me my money, don't play with my cash. Big crew, step up, we popping off fast. Hustlers, stay grinding, we built to outlast. If you ain't talking dollars, then we finna dash. Run me my money, don't play with my cash. Big step up, we popping off fast. Hustlers, stay grinding, we built to outlast. If you ain't talking dollars, then we finna dash. Hey, amateur aquatic, water flow clean. Tank so fresh, looking deep like a dream. Nicole Reed, steady winning the game. Running up in plays, they remember the name. Keeping it for the roots, family fun. Vlogs on deck and they second to none. Such a Clark Boo Bear with a big old feast. Mukbang queen, yeah, she ready to eat. Even, yours pouring up, mixing that heat. Shaking the flavors, got the world feeling sweet. Superfood pants, stay hustling right. Buy me a coffee, yeah, we up all night. My money, don't play with my cash. Big crew, step up, we popping off fast. Hustlers, stay grinding, we built to outlast. If you ain't talking dollars, then we finna dash. Run me my money. Run me my money. Run me my money. Think with my cash. Big crew, step up. We poppin' on fast. Hustle, stay grinding. We built to outlast. You ain't talking dollars, then we finna dash.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Today, all right, we're going to get on for Love Lounge. Every Wednesday on the Love and Live show, you guys know we step in. We have a little conversation, relationship discussion, relationship advice, whatever it is. We talk, give our opinions, give our perspectives, and that's what's going to happen today. So, with all that being said, we got some people in the building. I want to go ahead and make sure we welcome them in. So I'm about to welcome them in shortly. But I want to say thank you guys all for coming in. Thank you guys all for joining us. Before we got on, there was a little bit of a delay because we were scheduled for 3:05 our time. So it would have been like 05, whatever your time is. We got on at 15. So had some stuff that I had to handle. But we're here now. So with that being said, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and welcome in the chat. We're going to get into the topic today, kind of have a little bit of a discussion. So starting from the top, we're going to welcome in Sweetheart SpongeBob Racing. Welcome in, Sweetheart SpongeBob Racing, saying good evening, nephew and queen. How you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Nice to see you in here. Sweetheart SpongeBob Racing saying, I just came back from my vacation. All right. For dinner, she had a sandwich and a tomato. All right. I hope you enjoyed your meal. We got to welcome somebody in. Hey, queen.
Hey, King.
All right. We got to welcome in Unbiased LLC. Y'all keep Unbiased in your praise. I don't know if it was recent, but from what I seen, she had like a flooding situation over there. So make sure y'all lift up Unbiased. I hope everything's good over there with you, Unbiased. Hope all is well. But she said, hey, Queen Lenore and King Eli and chat. Nice to see you in here. Thanks for joining us today. All right. We also, sweetheart said, I'm just tired and it's already morning. Well, I hope you can get a nap in or whatever it may be. We got to welcome somebody in there. We've got Rude Boy 303. Welcome in, Rude Boy 303. All right. Nice to see you in here. Thanks for joining us. All right. And then we also got to welcome somebody in. We got Famous in the building. It's Rudy in Essential Oils. Rudy in here saying, hey, Love and Live Show and Chat fam. Welcome in. Nice to see you in here. We got somebody stepping in. Coming in, they bring their world to us. They show us their world. We've got Edna's World. Welcome in. How you doing today, Edna? Edna says hi. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. All right, like I said, today we're talking. Oh my goodness! On Love Lounge, we discuss different things. Today's topic that we're going to be talking about is long distance relationships, long distance love. All right, is it love or is it disaster? We're going to go ahead and get into it today. I hope everybody's, like I said, been enjoying themselves. If you guys got any topics or anything that you guys want to drop in the chat, we can discuss it. Feel free to do so. And if you guys have opinions you want to throw into the hat or the ring as well, y'all can do that. So again, long distance relationship, typically, something that, states away or there's just a distance between it, and today we're going to be talking about different scenarios, talking about different situations people may be in, and it's just generally all geared towards long distance relationships. All right. So with that being said, got the introductions, got the greetings out the way. We'll be right back after a quick brief message, and then we're going to go ahead and get into it.
Special thanks to this Rummy My Money Hustler.
Welcome to Superfood Parents, Jingle Superfood Parents. Ooh, oh, oh. Ooh, oh, oh. Let's go. Every bite's a super move. Tasty, fun, and packed with groove. Quick recipes, tips to try. Superfood Parents reaching high. Superfood Parents, Jingle Superfood Parents. Ooh, oh, oh. Ooh, oh, oh.
All right, we back at it, y'all. We back at it. So we'll go ahead and change up the music because we're having a little bit of different discussion there. All right, so with that being said, we're talking again long distance relationship. Talking about it is one thing. Being in it is completely different. But just having some general talking points. Obviously things like communication, time zone challenges, bonding, all that is going to be definitely hard to do while you are distant from your partner. So, we're just getting into, I guess, some ways to strengthen a long distance relationship, keep things going, but also talk about some situations and scenarios that are in real life instances of long distance relationships, whether they worked, didn't work, or maybe even their challenges. So again, we're here today. Y'all want to throw your hat in the ring, want to throw an opinion, throw a take in there, even if it's a little bit off topic, feel free to drop it down in the chat. We're going to get into it. It's Love Lounge. We're here to just have a discussion, here to talk about relationships in general. So with that being said, again, long distance relationships is usually meaning there's some distance between both parties of the relationship. It could be states, it could be cities, whatever it is, it's going to be hard. It's a challenge of meeting each other. And again, in situations like that, like especially online relationships, you have, again, those like time zone challenges, getting on like the same schedule, because, you could be in a place where you're 3 hours ahead or 2 hours ahead of your partner. You got to get on you got to find those times where you guys can still talk. You got to find those times when you can still get that little bit of intimacy in. So then also virtual bonding, a lot of long distance relationships rely on calls, video chats, texts, and, playing games or other online activities to stay connected. And even in the whole realm of long distance relationships, you've got hopefully planning visits, getting into that, maybe meeting up or going on a trip, vacation, or something together, for you guys to at least kind of take it to the next step or see how they are actually in person. And surprise gifts, that those can help. Letters, sending stuff to the actual address that can be physically felt or touched, all that. I'm biased. She got into it right now. She said that's what FaceTime is for. I can see you every day and then go to bed. So I'm biased. Let's just ask a question. Everybody in the chat right now, would you guys get in a long distance relationship? I'm gonna throw that in the chat. Would you get into a long distance relationship? All right, but yeah, like I'm biased. Said it right there. Some people, they like it just because it's just like that. All right, get on the FaceTime, have a little moment, go to bed. I'm biased. Said I would. She said I would. So asking this question, would you get into a long distance relationship? Good question of the day. But yeah, like what I'm biased said, some people, they like it just because it's simple and sweet. Some people, when you add that proximity, we're getting real close, take it to the next step, whatever it may be. Even like people who are boyfriend, girlfriends, and making that transition to living together, get married, whatever it may be. When you're seeing your partner a lot, that does often, there's more ups, but there's also more downs as well. So, some people, they might actually just like the distance. They get, the best of moments. They get the highlight reel. And yeah, Ambaya said she would do it. She said, I love my peace and space alone. So yeah, some people, it might just be their preferred relationship. We always keep that distance, but we can plan a trip, we can plan those meetups. But I don't mind the space between us like that. I mean, again, like I said, different strokes for different folks. Some people like it, some people might not. But we're asking right now in the chat, would you get in a long distance relationship? I should have put it as a poll, but I just pinned it up as a general question. So again, even in that, you can still send gifts, you can still send letters, things that have meaning to them while also being physical. That's nice. Amazon, you can just ship it to their address or whatever platform you decide to do. You can ship those things directly to that person's house. We also have I think when you have a long distance relationship, one thing that also manifests is like the stronger appreciation of, being like physically able to see your partner. We're going to go ahead and get into this right now. We're going to welcome somebody in. He's saying, word up. We've got Tuber Chat. Tuber Chat, welcome in. Tuber Chat in the building. All right. And as I talk about long distance relationships, I just have some talking points here. I'm waiting for other people's perspectives. I'm not giving them home. But another thing that I think can come up with that like distance, again, more so we talked about like the challenges of time zone. There's also trust and loyalty also being a big issue too, because you're online and a lot of your communications are going on online. And some people, they end up in situations where they got a long distance. You don't know what's going on the other side of the screen, but also what's going on inside the screen. They could be having a whole double life. They can have a whole new persona, whatever it is, where they're reaching out and talking to people on a whole nother account. Or, again, like you say, you don't see them too much, you don't get to see them too often like that. They have a whole life outside of the screen, and, you can be talking to somebody who's married. You can be talking to somebody who's got 10 kids, married with 10 kids. So, that's another kind of challenge is, even like catfishing, but also, people's realities lining up. But all that can really be cleared out when you get some personal information. We already talked about catfishing in our last Love Lounge, but, just doing some of those typical ways to kind of air those problems out. You can look at who they're following, if they got family and all that. You can look for family pictures, make sure that they real. Also, if they have a family, like a marriage or something like that, and they are, going to family reunions and stuff like that, those are things to be expected to pop up when you're doing your online lurking. But another thing that can kind of probably be an issue, I'd imagine, coming up is like emotional support. Some people, they need you to be physically there. So being there for one another with that distance could probably be an issue. And, again, physically, there's a lot of things that can happen romantically. So that could be that could be an issue as well. Somebody said, woo, married with 10 kids. Nah, somebody ain't feeling that one. So again, but that's the reality though, when you don't have to, you already have to worry about people doing that physically in real life, telling them the truth or being honest about their lifestyle, whatever it is. But then you have to throw in, now they're online, or now there's the distance. They could be doing a whole lot physically, or have a whole lot going physically that you don't even know about. And, unless you do that little extra bit of research, you're going to be stuck in a situation where yes, I'm biased, married with 10 kids. And I'm biased is not feeling that one. But, yeah, man, 10 kids. But you don't have to pay taxes if you got 10 kids, though, right?
Right.
Oh, man. So, but also I think like one thing that's probably important for like a long distance relationship is establishing what kind of relationship you guys want to have, especially if you're just genuinely meeting up online, or you guys are already talking, meet on a dating website. Maybe that person moved out, they had a proximity, or maybe you guys are just on the online where distance is not part of the equation. You got to think about what's the goal of the relationship. Once you get to know this person, you're talking on the phone, everything is cool, but really, what exactly is the goal? Is this going to be something for a good time? Is it going to be for a long time? Are we just talking right now? Are we having a little phase, a little moment? Or are you guys going to potentially take it further with, marriage, living together, all that different stuff coming into the equation, kids, an actual future, So I think when you're doing that virtual dating or bonding times, whatever you want to get, I think it's also important that you get that like feel of what are we doing here, in terms of what's the goals, that end goal. Like keep that in mind. What's the end goal? Yeah, exactly. Those kind of conversations. Who's moving? Where are we moving to? Maybe both will move to an unfamiliar environment. Maybe one moves in with the other. How's it all gonna go? If you have that idea and this is like serious, this is real, where are you gonna go? But yeah, I think those are like my main talking points. I had like that communication. Since you can't see each other, I think it's probably important to really compensate in terms of like that frequent, because that's going to be the only way that y'all can really maintain if y'all don't have, I guess, a physical presence. And then again, there's those doubts of trust and loyalty. There's also time zone challenges, virtual bonding. You got to plan those visits, see where, how can we make this happen? But, also on a positive note, you can keep things going by surprising, giving gifts, maybe that thing that they wanted. Next thing you know, it came in from Amazon. And another worry is like that emotional support. How you gonna provide a really comfort your partner when there's a distance? Sometimes that distance does create like a kind of tears down walls in people where they feel more vulnerable. But it also can be kind of lonely when you're like, you order to cry on or whatever, but you don't physically got that. And then personal growth, time apart allows both parties to grow. That's another factor. You've got a lot of growth when you're kind of in your own environment, but also y'all don't want to grow apart. So that's another worry, but also another factor too. They got their life, you got your own life. But as there is such a great distance, they can be doing a whole lot or going through a whole lot that you can't really be there for them with that. And then vice versa. And so, y'all can either grow and grow together, or it will just grow in a separation. And so, I guess things to kind of be mindful of with this long distance kind of conversation. Yeah, if y'all got, like I said, any piece of information or even questions that y'all want to drop in, feel free to do that. But right now, begging the question, would you get into a long distance relationship? You know, some people they might say yeah, like they could do it, or other people they might not, they just can't. You know, there could be the idea of it all means so like the virtual thing. You know, there could be some people who are like, oh, I'll get in a long distance relationship, but I need to see them physically. Some people, they're like, oh, you know, I've done this before. I done got on an online situation and that manifested into something. So there's so many different perspectives and outlooks on it and actual lived and experiences with it. But before we get back into everything, I'll be right back after this quick brief message. So we're going to go ahead and get into it.
Crew! Formerly known as our emoji pack, now it's the Crew!
So it's our Rummy My Money
Crew! As a part of the Rummy My Money Crew, you're going to get your name mentioned in our monthly song, as well as emojis here on YouTube that you can use, in our live chat or in our comment section. Here on YouTube, you also have the opportunity to get some additional content that are exclusive to our Rummy My Money Crew. Emojis, additional content, and your name in the monthly song when you join the Rummy My Money Crew. Join the crew today.
Ain't nothing free about us.
All right, so back at it. Here we are again. The question is in the chat. I'm biased. Rummy My Money. All right, we're getting into. We got this situation right here, where you know, again, you can put a lot of time into a long distance. We have this situation right here where there's a long distance boyfriend and girlfriend, and you know they've known each other since high school, so they've been together. They're in their 20s now, so they've been together for 10 years, or almost 10 years, 7 years, and they spent 2 years being in the same city, and they made sure to kind of go back and reach out, still connect with each other. So, you know, after every long break, they make sure to still kind of meet up. And the big challenge was college and everything like that. So they both had 2 different colleges. They would come back home, they would get to see each other. Sometimes they would fly out to the college if possible. But everything, you know, life is moving fast. Everything just began to feel real distant. And you know, they have different, they as they are growing, also learning different things about themselves, their love languages, what they prioritize, you know, what they want, what they kind of need. And one was quality time, and you know, that was a different issue because of that distance. Again, they both are trying to work towards their goals and everything like that, and he was unable to accommodate her emotional needs. And so it became really difficult and shaky for them. They had a little break, they came back to it, and then all of a sudden they broke things off. And you know, after all of this tension, after all this tugging and pulling and trying to keep things together, they let things go after they realized, you know, this distance is just, it's not gonna work. So, you know, again, in a situation like that, distance is hard. It just shows an example of it being hard to keep up and manage. It's already hard enough with a regular relationship. It's already hard enough when you physically can see your partner. A lot of things can happen, a lot of distance, a lot of barriers, walls can be built up. But then when we have this where, you know, distance is at play, they really enjoy that time together, but also it's that craving of more time, is that craving of like, you know, we can't keep this up forever. And get situations where they blow up and blow out like this. We gotta welcome somebody in now. We have some folks that stay entertaining. We're gonna go ahead and welcome in House of X Entertainment. We stay entertaining. Hey, we stay entertaining. We stay entertaining. We got House of X in the building saying, hey, nice to see you, House of X. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you're enjoying your day so far. But yeah, like I said, we're talking about long distance relationships right now. You guys got any conversations or talking points you guys want to put into the ring? Throw your opinion in. Feel free to do that. And how are you guys throwing Queen Lenora in the pool? I just need to know what's going on with that. Throwing her in the pool or nah? So with that, so that's the situation. The thing's souring out, and again, they separated. So all that to say, after 7 years, they did that of a long distance relationship, a lack of emotional intimacy caused by poor communication, quality. It just everything blew up, broke, and they just had to break it off. Right now, he wanted advice. Should he try to go back to her, or should he move on? That's what he wants to know in his situation. But ultimately, it does point in some of those, again, issues we talked about, how they correlate to a long distance relationship. Yes, there's different, I guess, benefits, but there's also, again, these drawbacks right here where you don't have that ability to see your partner. You're having that distance there. And, as we talked about it right now, should he go back? I mean, that's ultimately his choice. But I will say, in terms of personal recommendation, if he feels like, he's ready to just drop off everything and he really wants to keep things going, of course, move forward with that. Things aren't feeling too completely lost. He can come back to it, but at the same time, there is a lot of distance. So it's going to be kind of like getting to know this person at the same time. So, there's points for leaving, there's also points for staying, but ultimately, I mean, I can't really say which one I feel should exactly happen. But yeah, that was one right there where it just didn't. And again, a lot of long distance relationships, unless there is some change in that distance, sometimes do fail. There are cases that work, and it all depends on I feel like when you establish, again, what's the end goal, what's the expectation. You get those kind of in the ring, in the conversation, that will definitely help for the future. You guys know what this thing is and what's going on and how it's going on. It's going to be easy to execute that and keep that on. There's going to be some challenges with it, but it's going to be easier. But at the same time, we have people who are at distances because they are new chapters of life. And, when you are stepping into a new chapter, when you are doing something different, new, could be new career path you get into, could be in college, just journeys in general, that can cause a lot of distance. And if you're not keeping that communication up, if you're not keeping those intimate moments up, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be definitely detrimental and damaging to the relationship. So, and that's that. I mean, this stuff is just in general, whether you got the distance there or physically, it's both still a factor. It's just amplified when you have that long distance between y'all, because at least physically you can have that kind of feedback, but you have that distance. There's no way to get that connection. There's no way to step back in and be like, because how the relationship is structured. But I want to get into some more talking points. Different love languages can be an issue too, because long distance you gotta kind of adapt to whatever it is. If it's affirmation, you gotta be really communicative on that. You gotta talk a lot. You gotta, like Bias was saying earlier, be up on that FaceTime. You gotta do what you gotta do there. But if it's acts of service or something like that, serving somebody from a distance could be kind of difficult, But there are ways to do it. There are things that you could kind of do to show that. Gift giving, that's another one. Again, we talked about that as well. Since physical touch isn't possible, achieving that person's desired love language, that's also difficult as well. But there's also the benefits. You can have some really creative date nights. You can get into a virtual movie night. You can play some games together, online games. There's things like cooking together on a video call. Maybe y'all put up a YouTube video, try to make the same recipe, see how it all comes out. There's a lot of things like that that you can, can do to keep that romance alive. And I'm thinking back to probably like COVID and stuff like that. There was a lot of people who were in a situation where they were forced into kind of a long distance relationship, and they had to pivot and pick up and do things like this. So, it definitely is achievable, and I'm sure there's a lot of relationships that, even if they weren't completely long distance, had to go through a patch of distance before. And, this is probably some things that they did, creative little date nights, lots of games. I mean, you can play so many different games and share moments and bond with that. But also, some of the drawbacks is those moments of jealousy and insecurity. You don't really know what your partner is doing. You don't really know what they got going on. And so, it can make you worry, can make you leery about certain stuff. Another thing is like patience, definitely required. Y'all got two different lives, two different time schedules, time zones. Patience is required. You're going to have some patience to endure everything that comes with a long distance relationship. There could be misunderstandings that if you jump to certain conclusions, could be doing more damage than good. And so, like, if you just want to jump to say something or something like that, there might be an explanation that's just right around the corner. Again, but there's like the lack of also kind of like that physical, we do a lot of stuff and we read people's body language, we read people's tonality, all of that. You can still do that to an extent, especially with things like FaceTime, but there also come those points where it also becomes easier for somebody to kind of hit you with a little bit of a facade. It's easy to act in a small increment. It's hard to act for a long time. So if you're not physically there with them, it'll be harder to catch those little idiosyncrasies, those things that are not like extremely noticeable. So that's another thing to kind of get into when we talk about long distance relationships. That patience is needed. That jealousy and insecurity can come in, but you also can have some creative date nights, and you can make ways and navigate love language. It can be difficult, but it can be done. And like financial is, I feel like, a big part of it too. Depending on what party we're talking about here, I mean, travels and stuff like that is going to be necessary. You guys want to, even if there is distance, you want to close that gap if possible. Like you stated before, whether that's moving in with your partner, people might go on a vacation until things are, whatever's keeping them distant is at bay. You want to still be able to meet and do all of that while being in that long distance relationship. You want to close that gap when possible, if possible. So financial is going to be definitely key to that. And so I guess those are conversations to have. Those are things to kind of think about. And then there's also the social life balance. People already have a hard time balancing relationships outside of long distance. But when you add that distance and put that in play, people, they've got physical friends, they got physical jobs, co-workers, all that, and they're talking to these people, and that's healthy, that's good. But then at the same time, there's going to be that lack of communication that's going to be kind of created from those situations. So it's like, it's all a balance. You want to balance that social life. You want to understand your partner does have time, but then also this stuff is going on. And then another, I feel like kind of like a drawback, not even kind of, definitely a drawback, is the reliance on technology. So you at a Wi-Fi where that bill don't get paid, whether there's just an outage in your area, whatever it may be, you're gonna be out of it. You're not gonna be able to really talk to your partner. You don't have cell service. You got the phone bill paid, whatever it is. Now you're straight cut off from your partner, and I'm sure that, again, we're talking about distance. That distance is going to become even greater, and that can be like, really shocking. Especially if you got like a schedule or something going in terms of how y'all talk. That can really throw things out of the loop, really mess with the whole vibe and flow of things. So just that technological like pivots that can be definitely something that's going to be hard to deal with and jump over. And then, you know, trusting in the future. Like, y'all have that conversation, but then also, like, if you see them moving differently or you can't necessarily, like, they seem like they're not necessarily on the same page, that's going to be an issue. And then, like, that building independence as well. Again, that can create a lot of distance because, again, y'all trying to build, if y'all don't build together, y'all going to be building apart. And ultimately, like I always say, well, really like Queen Lenora always says, and I always say she says, you want to kind of be like this in a relationship, which y'all can't see them one behind the other, real close. You want to really have those, you know, you're already naturally going to have distance. So you want to be able to do as much as you can to close that gap and not increase space in that gap. And so, yeah, those are just some talking points I wanted to kind of throw in. You know, again, there could be success to it. There could be some issues, some challenges with it. And also, there's also, like, especially if you meet them online, there's a lot of worries in terms of, just like we were talking about yesterday with the online dating or catfishing. You have to worry about stuff like that. Like, are they who they say they are? Like, what they portraying, does that add up to reality? Is it 1 + 1 is 2 in this situation, or is it all of a sudden somehow adding up to 24? And it's like, what's going on? So you want to make sure that that's also something that's kind of cleared out. Like I was talking about earlier, do your due diligence in terms of making sure you're talking to somebody who's actually them. Get on that video call. They even got AI now, video calls and stuff like that. But there's certain things you should be able to tell. Find a picture of them when they're with multiple people. Look at their friends. Make sure they're actually real people who got real lives going on. You know, social media pages, all that. Everybody should have one at this point. It's going to be easy to look into, easy to kind of defer those details and get those where you need them. So make sure, again, you do your due diligence on that, and make sure you're talking to a real person. Make sure you ain't talking to somebody trying to get some money. Somebody who's just trying to waste your time, or again, just ultimately aren't who they say they are. They could be hiding for whatever reason, but that's just not them. So you wanna already kind of get that stuff out the way, because people put years in a long distance relationship, years and years. It could be, again, maybe somebody staying with a parent, somebody sickly, whatever it could be for caregiving reasons. It could be for could be for your education, could be college, job requires you to move a lot, military, things like that. Like, there's a lot of things and jobs that require distance. Trucking, you know, somebody can be going off trucking. They're gonna spend some days away. So you got the scale of it all. You got people who can go into colleges, maybe other countries, whatever it is. There could be so much distance between it. How do you keep that up when you do have all this stuff going on in your physical, in your current? So we talked about some good little talking points there. We talked about some ways to kind of keep it all together. We talked about some things that are going to kind of create a rift, create some distance. And we also want to welcome somebody in. All right, we got to welcome in Precious Pieces. Welcome in, Precious Pieces. She's precious to us. It's Precious Pieces. Nice seeing you in here. Thanks for joining us today. Say, hey, Liv, how's it going?
Doing good over here. How are you?
All right. So yeah, that's again another thing you kind of want to iron out when it comes to these long distance relationships. So yeah, if you, like I was saying before, if you guys got anything you want to throw into the ring, any conversation piece y'all want to kind of talk about, feel free to do that. But again, we had some situations. Some people, they might like the distance. They might feel like that's a good thing going. They might just only want a long distance. You know, there's a lot of people they'll get a little prison pen pal or something like that, and they like just knowing somebody's gonna respond to them or talk to them, but then not be there physically. So, I mean, again, it could be a relationship style or way for certain people as well. You know, we kind of clock into this relationship and clock out. You got your life, I got my life. Like Abias was saying right now, or not right now, earlier, she was saying, you know, she enjoys her peace, she enjoys her space, that time alone. You know, you bring somebody else into that equation, that can, again, kind of confiscate all those different factors. So, depending on who, ideally you'll get you a partner that everything's smooth. But with all that being said, it is something that, again, there's a lot of, I guess, positives, and there could be some negatives too. And it's different challenges to navigate because it is a different kind of situation and circumstance. We've been talking long distance. I'm gonna jump back into with some other talking points, but I'll be back after a quick break.
Would you like to support us here on the Love and Live show?
Yes.
If so, join the Hustlers. What does it take to be a hustler? Join us on the platform, Buy Me a Coffee, and join our membership over there.
Yes.
Some of the perks that you can get over there
Yes.
are your name in our videos and live stream. We're going to be promoting, doing a little extra something.
Yes.
We're also going to give you guys some additional content. Not just the stuff we have here on YouTube.
No,
but some extra special
Yes.
stuff just for you guys, the hustlers.
A hustler. I'm a hustler, baby. I'm gonna give you like downloadable content that you can have only a limited time.
Okay.
But it's exclusive to our Rummy My Money Hustlers.
So you can see what Queen is cooking over there. You also will have personalized videos ran here on our live streams.
Yes, and we're gonna also highlight one of our members every month
Put you in the spotlight, give you a highlight.
because you're so special to us. We love you.
So, are you feeling like a hustler?
I'm feeling like a hustler,
If
baby.
so, join us on
On
the
Run Me My Money Hustlers.
I'll buy me a coffee.
All right, y'all. We are back. We are back at it. And we're going to go ahead and... There we go. Okay. All right. Hopefully it stays good. If not, I'm going to have to get that figured out. But we have the opportunity right now. We're going to be talking about, again, what we was talking about before previously, long distance relationships. So we have a situation right here. Boyfriend, girlfriend, long distance, and they love each other, but they got two different timelines on marriage. She wants to wait till 30, and he doesn't, so he's not sure what to do. Mind you, he's 26, she's 22. So she says she wants to get married at 30, possibly 28 at the earliest, but most likely 30. And that would make him at that time 34. They got a 4-year age gap, which would be an 8-year wait. And he's like, he got that kind of issue going on, where, again, they're long distance. They've met online, and they've been meeting with each other and everything like that. We kind of talked about all those different things, but they've been doing all those different things. But in terms of as they come together and establishing things, she's not really ready for things to change in pace till about 8 years. And he's thinking like 8 years, man, like that's a lot of time. I mean, I know you kind of young. I'm a little older than you. I'm gonna be 34, and so that's been a worry with him. And so he wants to know, like, what's some things that he can do with that being a worry. I mean, they've communicated things, he's talked about things, but he just doesn't necessarily understand the idea of waiting, because he sees marriage as something that you would do with do with a person that like you want to grow and experience life with. So he's like, all right, do you see a future? Do you not? Like, he's not understanding. He's like, on one hand, he loves her, he doesn't want to break up over it, but they've worked through other disagreements before, and they've had a different view on kids, and they got it on that and kind of nailed that conversation down. So this is another one that could be a little divisive, but he wants to know, like, what's some other ways he should kind of handle this one or get into this one, if possible. So, yeah, I mean, I would say for that one, with that time, I do have a like full understanding in terms of that time thing. It's like, oh, usually people when they are at that stage and they're like, oh, we want to speaking on marriage or anything like that. I don't know. They've been together for a little bit now, so I mean, he's not just jumping the gun with things. They're talking about future and all that. And when you got plans like that and they don't line up, that can definitely be a point of tension. I think one way you can kind of air things out or kind of like create conversation, maybe clear some of the tension and create a little bit of understanding, is asking maybe why. Like, what is the reason why? Because he seems like he's not necessarily sure. He's just taking it on the surface, not trying to push things too much. But it could be something simple like a family thing. Maybe she hasn't seen that potential in her family. Maybe she hasn't seen that pattern happen. That's a complete conversation right there. You don't see it. Only married people I know, they got married old. So, that's typically what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait. So there could be something boiling down to that. But again, there is the obvious issue of like, all right, you not see a future. There's that kind of conversation there. Like, what are we doing here? And we talked about it already. You want to create those goals. You want to establish those things. And, with that being said, that's something that you want to make sure that you do. And if you're not able to do that, not able to get into that groove, that can definitely could be an issue, could be a pain point that's lingering on. And yeah, so that's kind of my recommendation. Get to that one, ask that question, get a better understanding of why, see if it's something that can be worked on. But ultimately, if you're not aligned, I mean, and you have your goal, she has her goal, are you willing to compromise too? That's a good idea to bring to the table. Can you compromise? Is that a possibility or is it not? Something you need to get into as well. And so that was that situation. And we also have this one right here where this person wants to know, how do I ask a long distance partner where things are going without messing up what we have right now? Both the same age. He said he's been hanging out with her frequently, but now they're doing a college thing, so they're jumping back and forth from college, and they see each other for dinner once a week. So he, it's not the greatest of distance, but he would like to see her more often, more frequently. And he wants to do that without kind of like interrupting what they have going on right now. I think a lot of people, they put on like a lot of weight on the situations like this. How should I do it? Why? Like, I don't want to mess things up. But ultimately, I think if we communicate more, we'll find better understandings. We'll have less of these issues, these pain points. And I think in a situation like that, you want to see her more, that might be a positive for her. I mean, if y'all invested in each other, it's going to be nothing but a net positive. I think you just come and ask that straight up. We doing this once a week kind of thing. We kind of on this schedule now. I want to see if we can expand this. I want to be able to see you a couple more days. I want to figure this out. You come with that kind of already kind of asserts like your standpoint, letting her know how you feel, that you're a little bit more serious, that you want to take things further. And I think that'd be kind of a point to see where you want to go. Because even if you enjoy the way things are right now, you can keep things up with now an understanding. So even if she didn't, let's say she declined, my life is just too busy or whatever it is, that doesn't restrict the fact that you did that. Like, it doesn't restrict the fact that it doesn't restrict that conversation. At least you're able to have that and put your ideas out there, and hopefully you just wish for the best. But I think we kind of let a lot of those ideas or thoughts in our head get the best of us when it comes to situations like this. Don't let that stuff linger in. Make sure you kind of execute on that, vocalize, let that be announced, said, whatever. If you got that feeling, make sure you say it, because if it's not, what's not said isn't said. I mean, nothing can transpire or come from it if it's just a thought. And she could be wanting to say the same thing, but kind of wanting to see if you feel the same way. So get out of your head about it and just ask. I think that's the best way to get into this situation. In that situation we were just talking about is how does he ask his girlfriend without messing up what they have that he wants more time? How does he let her know that? I think just be straightforward, just be upfront, honest, tell her how you feel. And I really like what we have going on. And I definitely don't want to ruin things. I really enjoy things, but I definitely want to let you know I want to see you often. I want to see you more. We're only doing this once a week kind of thing. I need a little bit more from you. We can have that conversation, get that done, move forward with that, and kind of establish those dates or whatever's going to manifest from that. But yeah, I think that's one thing. We also have this situation with some kind of more like a relationship girl story. So she matched with this girl, or not? She matched with this guy on a dating website, and they had a good little message back and forth. She said she wasn't really in the dating headspace, so she stopped talking. And so she said he didn't really like chase her, was like obsessing or anything, but he just popped back, and she was in a chatting mood, and so they replied. They got things back going, and then all of a sudden, here they are talking about like how things are gonna go. Talk about some kind of future. So they talk regularly. They moved to calls, so from text to calls, and in 3 straight weeks, just like long conversations, deep conversations. And she said she never gave too much like attention, but then it kind of expanded to where he knew more details about her and everything like that. And so again, they just talking, they getting to know each other. It all kind of boils down to, they get to the point where she's learning more about him, learning more about kind of his personality and everything like that. She just real turned off about it. Like, okay, we had a little chat. It was planning and meetups and everything like that. And it overall sizzled out where it just ended up not working. Well, he wasn't feeling that. He had a kind of like an ulterior motive to coming to this situation. So, he kept kind of talking about just trip and everything like that, and this trip that they should go on, and saying he just needed her to put a little bit of money on the trip and all this different stuff. And turns out this whole time he was actually trying to con her. He was trying to he was kind of scam her. So again, this situation right here, this person is really kind of like getting deep in the conversation, showing a lot of interest. Then it sizzled out to be more of like an ulterior motive to it. So also be careful with that. A lot of people can have a whole different intention before getting into that relationship. And that distance doesn't help, because you only can get so much information and clues and context out of them. So again, that's that. We also have to, welcome somebody in. We've got GJ3 for GJ3's in the piece. Welcome in, GJ3. But even if GJ3's not here, he has gifted, all right, whole bunch of memberships to everybody in the chat. So he's saying something, all right? We're going to get to what he's saying. What you talking about, GJ3? What's going on?
Ain't nothing free about us.
Thank you so much, GJ3. Definitely appreciate you there. He gifted 5 Running My Money Crew memberships to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much, GJ3. Thank you. We also got to welcome somebody in. All right, you step in with her, get your mind right. All right, let's say you're having a little bit of a struggle because you are long distance. You got to get right with wellness with Frugal Mama. Frugal Mama in the building. She says hello. Nice to see you in here, Frugal Mama. Hope you're enjoying your day so far. And so, yeah, right now we've been talking about long distance relationships. We've been talking about those struggles, those challenges that you might face. And, you know, there's been a lot of conversation and talk, kind of key points going on. Like I said, we just talked about a situation right there where there's an ulterior motive. They, again, do all this to kind of reel you in, but then the overall intention is to get a little dollar bill out of you. So it is something to kind of be cautious of and kind of be wary about when you are stepping into that arena and that realm of long distance. You can even start with good intentions and things kind of sizzle out. Maybe, you know, they're now looking at you like you got the sugar, you know. Your whole relationship structure starts to shift all because of the distance. It's like, oh, well, you know, it's something to just keep in mind and kind of also be mindful of. But yeah, y'all, we talked about lots of different things, ups, downs, all the way around. I want to say thank y'all for all just participating, giving good little talking points to it. Bias, she gave her opinion on it. She said she would do a long distance, and she said, you know, that's what FaceTime is for. I can see you every day and then go to bed. You know, we can make this real easy. And so, again, everybody in the chat, this is just kind of asking y'all this. Would y'all get into a long distance relationship? Is that a possibility? Is it a situational thing? Could that relationship be birthed on like a dating website or online and become something through distance? If it is, make sure you drop your opinion, your perspective in the chat. But in the meantime, y'all, we're going to go ahead and close out by saying, remember, love and live each day as if it were y'all. Thank y'all for thank y'all for joining us. Y'all take care. I'm going to say thank y'all for watching Love Lounge today. Have a good one.
Conversations deep where love's defined, in the realm where truth takes the stage. Love Lounge opens up the page. Love Lounge, let's take a dive into stories that keep love alive. Feel the pulse, hear the vibe. On Love Lounge we thrive. Whispers of wisdom in every word, connecting hearts that might have blurred. Feel the rhythm of every beat. Love Lounge, the place where souls meet. Love Lounge, let's take a dive in stories that keep love alive. Feel the pulse, hear the vibe. On Love Lounge we thrive. On Love Lounge we thrive. On Love Lounge we thrive. From passion's peak to tender care, journey with us, we share, we dare. A space for hearts to bear their truth. Love Lounge, bringing fresh roots. Love Lounge, just take a dive in stories that keep love alive. Feel the pulse, hear the vibe. Love Lounge, we thrive. Love Lounge, with fresh roots. Love Lounge, we thrive. On Love Lounge, we thrive. Love Lounge, we thrive. On Love Lounge, we thrive. Love Lounge, just take a dive into stories that keep love alive. Feel the pulse, hear the vibe. On Love Lounge we thrive. Love Lounge, just take a dive